When I was connecting with your energy, Leo, for the month of July, the visual that actually came to me was this entity or this being who was radiating like the sun. And this actually makes perfect sense for you because as a Leo, you are literally ruled by the sun. We have the sun entering Leo towards the end of this month. And we even have Venus going retrograde in your sign starting on the 17th. So you're literally glowing with this Venusian energy. And even though Venus is retrograde, what this could really mean for you is that you are actually going through a bit of a glow up, or there's something that is happening for you, shifting for you, where you are loving yourself more and you're finding the beauty within you. Before we dive into this month's reading, I just want to thank all of you who support this channel and also reached out last month in support of my cat, Benny. He's actually doing a lot better, I'm very happy to say. So thank you so much for your prayers, words of encouragement, and your donations. I really, really appreciate all of it. My heart was just so touched during a really challenging time, so thank you so much. For those of you who are brand new to this channel, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. If you want to make sure that you're always up to date, definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you never miss out on what's in the cards for you. I do also just want to give my friendly reminder that I will never DM you or reach out to you in the comments to solicit my services. Anyone who does that is just an imposter, they're fake, they're trying to scam you, so please report and ignore them. And if you do want to book a reading for me, you can find all of my links in the description of this video, including links for personal readings, distance Reiki sessions, and my social media accounts. Now, before we get into the tarot cards for you, Leo, I did actually pull a few animal cards. The first was the butterfly. And this really felt like this emerging, this transformation process that you've been going through. And I mean, just looking at this card, this butterfly looks like it's kind of shining or radiating. There are things that are changing. And honestly, you could be even having a change of heart about many things in your life this month, and frankly, even into August, because again, we do have Venus retrograde until September 3rd. There's going to be a lot of themes that are playing out in your sign where your values could be changing, and so you could be having a change of heart. The things that you care about, or the reasons why you care about things, could really be under focus right now, and kind of this area of introspection or questioning. And the butterfly really does often indicate that something is changing in relationships or in your heart, and that it's important to nurture yourself during this tender time of transformation or transition. Now, the other cards I pulled actually came out together, and we have the firefly, which is this radiant energy again, but there's also the turtle. And it feels like there is this light that you have been hiding, or there's this light within that you are working with as well. I feel like as we are in Cancer season, there's kind of a lot that's happening beneath the surface. And even with Venus retrograde in your sign, again, there is like a lot of inward focus. It's actually interesting because I'm like, as I'm closing my eyes, I'm getting a very clear visual of a tower with rings around it. But that almost feels like you put yourself in a position where you almost like enter into a role or enter into a kind of persona that has become imprisoning for you. But you are reconnecting with your inner light. And there's something that is shifting here, something that's very, very inspiring for you here, Leo. And I mean, overall, this month really is a slow energy, even though we do have some shifts happening with the nodes, which is where the eclipses occur. We actually did technically already experience the new eclipse cycle back in April when we had the new moon eclipse in Aries. But we do have the North Node now officially in Aries. The South Node is entering into Libra. And so there is a shift in the energy that is happening. And for you specifically, it really could be about your ideas and your understandings of the world, your philosophies. These are things that could really be radically changing. And, you know, kind of the way that you live and communicate day to day could be something that you're kind of moving away from. Especially with like these major insights or illuminations that are happening for you. What do we have for Leo? I'm actually going to try and shuffle the cards here. I feel like I always struggle to shuffle the cards and speak at the same time. What do we have for Leo for the month of July? What do we have for Leo? Okay, interesting. Whew, okay. Wow. We have the Seven of Cups with the Nine of Cups coming out in reverse together. And this is past influence. This is past energy. I feel like a lot of you have been disillusioned by traditional notions of stability or success. Maybe there were things from your family where it's like you believed you had to have your life be a certain way in order for you to be happy. You had to make a certain amount of money, or you had to live a certain lifestyle. And that could be something that has changed for you recently. And I think, this is actually really interesting because this is energy you've been in with the South Node in Scorpio. And the South Node will still be in Scorpio for a good portion of this month. It feels like you're letting go of old notions from childhood or from your family of what stability looks like. That's just what I'm getting with this. And it feels very, very specific. So let me know in the comment section down below if that's making sense. And you wanted to leave situations with the Eight of Cups, but it felt like you couldn't because they were too stable. But you're recognizing that you've kind of kept yourself in a situation because you believed you needed the stability to be happy, but it's actually draining you. And I feel like part of this self-love, part of this new chapter for you, this new era for you, like you're becoming a main character. You're kind of releasing these things. You're letting some things go. Or you're recognizing how you've been held back, or how you've been stifling yourself, or how you internalize that conditioning. And again, the energy is super introspective, honestly. There's a lot of very internal energies. Even though globally things could honestly be quite aggressive in the month of July, particularly around the 20th. 21st, 22nd, it looks pretty contentious, I'm not going to lie. It feels like overall the energy is very internal and like you are shining from within, Leo. We do also have the Death card, and this is what is clarifying the past. This is what has become clear from the past energy and the advice moving forward. There is some letting go. There is some releasing that is happening here. You're finally releasing things. You're finally shedding things. I feel like some of you are also getting out of hard situations that have been difficult to escape. Maybe if you feel like you aren't in a stable situation, that's actually the thing that you are moving away from. That could also be an interpretation for some of you. Again, these are general messages, so the energy is going to be different for all of you, but something is changing here. And it feels like you're finally moving forward and you're actually getting real stability here. So what do we have for Leo? Let's keep shuffling. Ooh, we have the Magician. Yeah, this feels like a new beginning for sure. And this is very central to your energy. I feel like you are casting spells on yourself, or you're doing affirmations, which is basically the same thing, in my humble opinion. You're doing some sort of work on yourself. And it feels like there is something with manifestation. You could be setting intentions or working towards your goals. The Fool. Wow, there is a brand new beginning for you. There really is this new cycle for you. And for some of you, it almost feels like it's like a revenge glow up where something didn't go your way And instead of wallowing in defeat or wallowing in despair, Leo, it feels like you step up and you're like, no, I know my worth. I know who I am. And you have this new lease on life. And you're very powerful. You're very magnetic. You're manifesting a lot. These cards are also very eerily similar to a lot of the cards I just pulled in the Virgo reading. So if you have any Virgo placements, there might be something in that reading for you as well. What other messages do we have for Leo? We have the Three of Wands in reverse, and this is the challenge. Yeah, something did not go your way. And it could be involving other parts of the world, other cultures, higher education, travel. Like there could be canceled plans for you, like canceled travel plans. That's a very literal like interpretation of this card. There was something that was coming that hasn't come, but it's like there's almost this radical acceptance for you, Leo, where it's like, I didn't even really want this anyway. These things that I thought I wanted aren't actually what I want, or aren't actually what I need. And as I'm even saying that, I'm feeling a lot of resistance where it's like, maybe at the time you are watching this reading right now, you don't want to admit that, or you don't think that's true. But I feel like there's this point in this month where it's like, you're realizing something didn't work out, and it's redirecting you. Or you can redirect yourself. Justice in reverse with the Three of Wands in reverse. Yeah, something did not go your way. And, you know, I called it. I did say, like, I feel like there's this resistance with what I'm saying because it really feels like a loss at first. It really feels like something isn't fair, that something should have happened, but it didn't happen. And I kind of feel like I need to tell you that it's a blessing anyways. Even though that feels like that's not what it feels like to you. Something didn't go in your way, but it's honestly like, it's almost like your villain era. And it's opening you up to a whole new world. And it's like, I want you to really ask yourself, why were you pursuing something that didn't end up happening, or didn't end up with the fair outcome that you deserved? Because it feels like there's something better. It feels like there's something more. It feels like you're trying to define your happiness or even your identity. Like with all of the stuff in your first house, like you're trying to identify yourself in a very narrow way, or fit into one very specific role. But this feels very multifaceted with the world. And there is a change, there is a completion, there is the end of a cycle. It is happening. And it might not necessarily be the ending you want at first, if I'm being completely honest. But that's part of this change of heart. You're actually realizing that even if things went your way, it wouldn't really change what's happening inside of you. And that's the real freedom with the world. Very, very interesting. You will have to let me know in the comments down below what this is referring to. But it feels like I'm feeling the energy. It feels like, honestly, kind of a tough pill to swallow. And I'm sorry if that's the energy you're in, Leo. I'm curious what's happening for you in relationships. What is happening for relationships? We have the Six of Cups. You could be reconnecting with people from the past or reconnecting with people that you care about and just haven't seen in a long time. There could be healing conversations that are happening. This is actually really, really beautiful to see. What else do we have? Oops, what else do we have for Leo? Anything else about relationships? We have the Sun. I feel like there's actually a lot of healing that comes from relationships. It could be friends. It could be people who have known you for a long time. There could even be a celebration in the family or with friends, again, that are like family. I mean, maybe some of you are even celebrating your birthday. I feel like there's really good news. You're hearing from someone you haven't heard from in a long time, and it's like either very healing or there's good news. There's something really, really exciting happening in relationships for you. You could just be returning to a sweeter time or a sweeter energy in a relationship as well. What is going on in relationships for Leo? We have the Five of Cups, but we also have the Star. Yeah, I feel like there's some big emotional conversations, but there's also a lot of healing. Yeah, I feel like whatever is being talked about this month, it's very rejuvenating. There is this hope, there is this faith that you are finding again. Really, really specific message. I think some of you, I mean, some of you may be reconciling with someone. But honestly, it's almost like the way I see this with the Five of Cups and the Star, it's like, and even the Sun, you might be having a conversation or just realizing something, and you could be releasing something that was sad or painful or just not right for you with the Five of Cups. I'm looking at the Stork and the Star. I feel like someone's announcing a pregnancy this month. Yeah, it feels like someone could be announcing that they're pregnant or just have good news. Or there's just this new life, this new idea, this new chapter. Anything else in relationships? What about love? You know, is there anything with love specifically? Honestly, there's just a lot of focus on self-love. I mean, if you do have Venus in Leo, which if you have your Sun in Leo at least, is very likely, or at least somewhat likely, you could just be really thinking about why you love the people that you love. And what are the relationships you value the most? And maybe you're reconnecting with those people. Yeah, King of Wands. This is your card, Leo. I feel like it really is just talking a lot about self-love. That's the thing with love this month. That's the most important. And it's not to say that there won't be relationships for some of you. There won't be things that are growing for some of you. But it's like, it's very much about you and how you show up in relationships and how you are received and how you give love to people. And we are in your season, so that all makes a lot of sense to me. We do have an Aquarius full moon August 3rd. And that could be a really significant time for relationships, representing a change or a culmination, a peak in energy for you. But honestly, for the month of July, I'm not really getting that so much. It feels like it's focused on you and healing and just getting back in touch with the people that you really care about, which honestly feels really nice. It feels really sweet to me. What is going on in finances for Leo? And then we'll pull some messages from Spirit. Anything about finances or maybe career? We have the Temperance card with the Knight of Cups. Really, really interesting energy. I feel like a lot of you are feeling quite creative, actually, and in flow. I think it's just important to nurture yourself and invest in yourself. And invest in things that help you feel good and bring out the best in you, specifically with Temperance. A lot of people think of this as the card of harmony and balance, which it certainly is, but it is also like the purification of metal. To temper steel, is to burn away the impurities. And to bring out the best quality of something, or the sought quality of something. And that's why I feel like you're actually investing in your self-care and your emotions a lot. And I feel like a lot of you are very creative this month as well. And your self-expression, like you might be expressing yourself differently with the way that you dress, or the way that you do your hair, or just the way that you come across to the world. Maybe that's the creative expression I'm picking up on as well. Honestly, this is an energy where you may be rethinking your own aesthetic, actually. And aesthetic honestly feels like kind of a superficial word. It's not just your aesthetic, it's your expression. That really feels more like the essence of what these cards are capturing. Anything else with finances? Anything else? Honestly, I'm not really getting a ding. It kind of feels like that's complete. Is there anything else with finances? I don't think so. It feels like you're just kind of investing in yourself and the things that help you feel good, Aries. Or Leo. That's weird. What other messages do we have? See, right as I change the topic, we have a bunch of cards coming out. Messages from Spirit. 8 of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like some of you could be building something for the future and taking your time, being very methodical. I feel like you need to take very tangible steps this month towards the things that feel aligned for you. Especially if there is like a creative project. We do still have Jupiter in your 10th house of career, so there could just be a lot of work that you are doing right now, and part of doing all this work is also taking care of yourself so you don't burn out. And you don't have to finish everything all at once. You might not actually finish things in the month of July, and that's okay. Because it's almost important that what you are producing is of a high quality. Or of a pure essence. Your undivided self or attention or care. This is both Virgo energies, actually, which is interesting. Because Virgo energy comes after your sign, so end of August. This could be a very significant period. Maybe that's when you are finishing something. But it's okay to take your time. You're not being lazy. You're still being productive. Even if you're taking the time that you need to also take care of yourself with Temperance and the Knight of Cups. And even the Butterfly kind of talks about that self-care too. Any other messages? Any other messages for Leo before we finish this reading? Okay, the end of a tough cycle approaches with the full moon in Capricorn. That's literally happening on the 3rd of July, so the beginning of this month. This does really represent a turning point for you. And there's also a lot of focus on your mental health as well, just kind of thinking of Cancer season and the new moon in Cancer on the 17th. I think the end of the tough cycle actually does represent an improvement in your mental health, which is interesting. There could also be like a culmination of all your efforts and all the work you've put towards something. Any other messages? Any other messages for Leo? Show us clearly. That was too many. Let's try again. Any other messages? Is it this one? We have the new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. Yeah, this card was kind of coming in and out. Maybe that's an energy of someone in your life, but it feels like there is communication. You're having really important conversations this month as well, Leo, and you're really getting to the heart of the matter in a lot of ways. And it's like with the full moon in Capricorn, you're finally releasing some burdens. You're getting out of a very heavy energy, and it's becoming a lot lighter with the new moon in Gemini as well. So honestly, really, really beautiful energies this month. I'm actually really excited for you, Leo. I think this Venus retrograde is actually going to bring up a lot of beautiful things for you. It's going to create a lot of beautiful things. And I hope that this reading was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. You can find links in the description of this video for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Leo. Have a happy and blessed July, and happy birthday to those of you who have a birthday this month.